Hi, my name is Ahn'aste Summers, and we are going to discuss the different ways that you prepare for an IEP meeting. We're going to discuss the requirements, the timelines, and the collaborative practices used to support students with exceptionalities and how we help their families. So first, we're going to start off with the purpose of this meeting, of IEP meetings. So it's to ensure free, appropriate public education, FAPE, to develop individualized, measured goals, collaborate with families and service providers, and to also make data-driven educational decisions. So IEP meetings are legally required and student-centered. Their purpose goes beyond compliance and focuses on ensuring students receive individualized supports that allow them to access and progress in the general curriculum. Families are equal partners in this entire process. Now we're going to talk about the types of IEP meetings. So we have the initial IEP meeting, and then we have the annual review IEP, which follows the IEP amendment, and the reevaluation IEP is used when it's applicable. So each IEP meeting serves a different purpose. Initial IEPs establish services, annual reviews update goals, amendments allow changes with parent agreement, and re-evaluations determine continued eligibility. Preparation timeline for IEP meetings. So 30 to 60 days before the meeting, data is collected and request is inputted. 2 to 3 weeks before the draft IEP and send meeting notice, the notice is sent for the meeting. 1 week before the draft is shared with the families. And then the day of the meeting, you bring all of the documents that you need. And after the meeting, you finalize and distribute paperwork. So effective IEP meetings begin weeks in advance. Proactive planning ensures compliance with IDEA timelines and meaningful collaboration with families and stakeholders as well. Now we're going to talk about the special education teacher responsibilities. So they gather academic, behavioral, and functional data. They draft PLAAFPS, the goals, and the services. They coordinate with the related service providers. They ensure legal compliance and documentation, and they facilitate collaboration during the meetings. So the special education teacher often serves as the case manager and the facilitator, ensuring that the IEP is data-driven, compliant, and collaborative. Now we're going to talk about the required team members of the IEP meetings. So of course we have the parent or the guardian, that's the most important. Then we have the special education teacher as well as the general education teacher. Then we have the LEA representative, the individuals to interpret evaluation results, and the student and related service providers as seen appropriate. So the IDEA requires specific participants to ensure decisions are informed and legally valid. Meetings cannot proceed without required members unless properly excused in writing. Stakeholder contributions. So the families, they talk about their strengths, their concerns, and their priorities. The general educator, it talks about the classroom performance. The special educator discusses the goals and supports. The service providers, they have therapy data, and the administrators, they have resources and compliance. Each team member contributes unique and valuable information. Respecting all voice strengthens the IEP and supports students' success. Now we're going to talk about the data needed for each IEP section. So we have the PLAAFP, that is the assessments, the observations, and the work samples. Then we have the goals, which is the baseline data and the progress monitoring. Then we have the services, the frequency, the duration, and the setting for those. Then the accommodations, the classroom, and the testing needs. And then finally, the behavior plans. So you have behavior logs and FBA data. IEPs must be data-driven. Data ensures goals are measurable, services are justified, and progress can be clearly communicated. Communicating student progress. Visual graphs and charts. Plain language explanations, comparison to baseline data, strength-based communication, and opportunities for questions. So progress should be shared in family-friendly language. Visuals and examples help families understand growth and remain engaged in the entire process. And we're going to talk about some of the required documents for IEP meeting. So you have the meeting notice, and then you have the draft IEP, as well as the evaluation reports, prior written notice, which is also known as the PWN, and then you have the procedural safeguards. These documents ensure compliance and protect family rights. Providing them in advance supports transparency and collaboration. Next, we're going to talk about the purpose of providing draft IEPs. So it promotes transparency, it reduces family anxiety, it encourages meaningful participation, allows time for questions, and it improves meeting efficiency. Draft IEPs are working documents. Sharing them early builds trust and helps families engage more meaningfully in decision making. Next, we have supporting and valuing families. We offer flexible meeting times. They provide interpreters and translations. We allow virtual or phone participation, whatever is easier. Invite written input and use respectful, strength-based language. Removing barriers to participation ensures that families are valued partners. These practices promote equity and as well as inclusion. Next, we're going to talk about collaboration and facilitation strategies. So you have to use a clear agenda, you have to establish shared norms, encourage balanced participation, use screen sharing for virtual meetings, and clearly document decisions. Strong facilitation keeps meetings focused, respectful, and productive, especially in virtual settings. Lastly, we're going to talk about the ongoing communication and technology. So parents have a secure parent portals. It has emails and the phone updates. It has progress monitoring tools. It has the shared data trackers as well as the scheduled check-ins. So collaboration continues after the meeting. Consistent communication ensures that the IEP is being Consistent communication ensures that the IEP is implemented with fidelity. Now this is where I pause, ask anybody have any questions, and there we go. Thank you.